Hello guys, it's Gilgamesh the Gamer here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a guide on how to build a rank Hera. So without wasting so much time, let's begin the guide. Normal attack, also known as Phoenix Flame, and what it does is that Hera Phoenix transform into several fire birds which attack the enemy. You should also note that the number of phoenixes increases over time before the attack ends in an explosion, and it deals fire damage equal to 99% of attack in total to enemies within range. Skill 1, also known as Sacred Flame Dive, and what it does is that Hera summons the Phoenix, which flies swiftly along the target trajectory and deals fire damage equal to 150% of attack in total to enemies in its path. You should note that Hera gains 1 traces after this skill is done. Skill 2, also known as Blazing Embrace, and what it does is that Hera uses her scepter to direct a blast at the target's feet, dealing fire damage equal to 382% of attack in total to enemies within a certain area. Hera also gains 1 traces after the skill is used. Skill 3, also known as Solar Blaze, and what it does is that Hera starts a storm of fire around her, dealing damage to the enemy. The amount of damage dealt is determined by the number of traces expended. When Hera have 1 trace, if you press the skill 3, it expends the 1 trace and deals fire damage equal to 240% of attack. With 2 traces available, it deals fire damage equal to 600% of attack. With 3 traces, Hera deals fire damage equal to 560% of attack. With 4 traces, her deals fire damage equal to 720% of attack to her enemies. Ultimate skill, also known as Feather of Fury, and what it does is that Hera summons the Phoenix that gathers the enemy from a spot above the target location, dealing fire damage equal to 18% of attack in total. The best Functor for Hera is Herald Ganymede, and what it does is that it replaces Skill 2, which is Blazing Embrace to Blazing Dance, and what it does is that any hits landed on an enemy using Skill 2 deal 28% more damage. The best sigil for Hera is Prometheus Flame and Moon Drifter, and why these 2 sigils are the best is because Promethazine Flame increases her fire damage by 10% and also at another additional 10% increase in fire damage when defeating an enemy, while Moon Drifter increases her trace skill damage by 10% and has a 30% chance to gain an additional trace whenever a skill or ultimate skill attack is landed. The sigil positioning of Prometheus Flame is position 1, 3 and 5, while Moon Drifter is 2, 4 and 6. The best Aether Code for Hera is the Yellow and Blue Aether Code. What the Yellow Aether Code does that it increases the damage of Skill 3 by 35% and also reduces the cooldown time of Skill 3 by 8 seconds and grants 1 traces for every 15 hits landed on the enemy. I will recommend you to use the Yellow Aether Code when you are using her as your team leader, while for the Blue Aether Code, what the first Blue Aether Code does is that Skill 1 inflicts or deals fire damage equal to 35% of attack every 3 seconds for 15 seconds to an enemy. And what the second Blue Aether Code does is that for each hit landed on the enemy, it increases fire damage by 1% and then additional 1% whenever an enemy is afflicted with Scorch's hit. The fire damage bonus from this effect is capped at 15%. What the third Aether Code does is that Solar Blaze, which is Skill 3 and it lowers the fire resistance of enemies hit by 10% for 8 seconds, the effect is increased to 15% for enemies afflicted with Scorch. This particular Aether Code is recommended when Hera is being controlled by I. The best team recommendation is the Ice team, which comprises of Hera, Leviathan and Arctic Abyss Poseidon. I don't have her, so I left that spot empty. This marks the end of this video. I will be grateful if you give this video a like and also subscribe to my channel as to support me. And if you have anything to say, you can leave a comment below and I will make sure to reply you.